tonight, a state Supreme Court justice suspended, facing removal from the bench after threatening to shoot a group of black teenagers.
Here she is right here. It's the video. It happened at a house party near Utica in the summer of 2022. Body cam video, the stuff you're seeing right here, and report findings from the incident just now being released.
This week, the Commission on Judicial Conduct calling the judge's actions racially offensive, saying she can no longer serve as a fair and impartial judge.
Or they'll be shot on the property.
Well, I'm just every day.
I'll shoot them on the property.
New video just released capturing state Supreme Court Justice Erin Gall threatening to shoot a group of black teenagers.
They'll be shot on the property.
Well, I'm just letting you know that
Because
best case
when they
scenario,
trespass, you can shoot them on the
They
property.
should just come here and just...
No, I'm just saying.
Every day?
I'll shoot them on the property.
The judge was at a high school graduation party at her friend's house when authorities say there was an argument between invited and uninvited guests. A group of black teenagers who received a text invite to the party with the address then arrived, and a fight broke out shortly after.
Kind of split open pretty far.
Yeah, I've been telling him since I got eyes on him that he needs to go get checked out.
He was definitely hit with something.
During the scuffle, the teens lost the keys to their car and couldn't leave the neighborhood, appearing to upset Gall, who wanted the children to leave, but refused to turn over their car keys if she found them.
If the key turns up,
We're absolutely going to throw it in the toilet. You're welcome.
somebody's sister's coming to pick them up and get them out of here, and I'm going to get his information, and if we
Put them
find
in
the
the back
keys...
of the cop car
if
and
I
let them
find
wait
the
there.
keys-
5 law enforcement agencies arrived on the scene during the more than hour-long ordeal, during which the New York State Commission on Judicial Conduct said the judge repeatedly invoked her judicial office.
Judge Gall, I'm a judge. I'm telling you, get off the
Dude, go wait at the car.
I'm a Supreme Court judge.
I know,
I'm
you judge.
sitting here.
Threatened gun violence,
I'll shoot them on the property.
No.
Get out. If I have to clear it out, I will.
and both criticized and pledged favored treatment for the police.
The good part is, I'm always on your side. You know I'd take anyone down for you guys. You know that. You know that. You know I am on your side.
Video also captures the judge making comments about the black teens' intelligence levels.
They don't look like they're that smart. They're not going to business school, that's fine.
And praising her son for beating up partygoers, among other comments.
He put him smack down once he got hit.
I didn't say it was one-sided.
The commission now calling for the judge to be removed from the bench. The commission administrator telling CBS 6, it is utterly unacceptable for a judge to threaten gun violence, exhibit racial prejudice, promise favorable treatment for the police, or disparage a law intended to keep guns away from dangerous people. Any one of these things would undermine public confidence in the administration of justice. That all this and more was committed by one judge disqualifies her from further service on the bench. Now, Gall's attorney did provide a statement in a brief.
You guys saw the evidence. You saw the information that was provided. And you had an opportunity to come to your own conclusion the best way possible before listening to what I have to say. I want to say this, and I will be frank with you on all of this situation. As somebody sitting in my own position, I can actually say I was disappointed. I won't be happy to find that the moment I wake up before I've got my morning coffee. Trust me, it's very, very, very unappealing to see someone as a judge be in that position. But as a man, I totally understand what transpired here. Now, before I go into that section, I'm just going to speak on this other issue here. I don't know whether anybody has watched the movie Judge Dredd, where you have street judges and you have perhaps office judges. Let me make this very clear. A judge has to always understand that in every situation, be it outside or when you're on the bench, there's certain behaviors that you show that indicates that you're a good judge. Because many of the times, you're forced to deal with evidence. And in some circumstances, you may not be privileged enough to see all of it, but sometimes they give you highlights and expect you to make judgment off of this. And in this situation, she was part of the atmosphere. And let me put it like this for you guys. For me, I'm expecting a judge to bring order to every situation that they see as quickly as possible. Just like Judge Dredd would. You get in there, you judge him fast, you get him out. That's it. Try to restore order as fast as possible. Now, am I trying to say that this judge should be condemned fully? No, I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say also that I understand what is happening to this judge. This judge is part of the moment. They accuse her of a couple of things. The first is she's threatening gun violence. Okay. I can understand that. But on whose property is she on? Is it on her property? A friend's property? A public property? A corporate property? What is she on? I think the video actually said it. The video said she's on a friend's property. Now, what do we typically do when we go and we see chaos in our friend's own home that could quickly escalate into other things? In fact, it escalated into other things. It escalated into a fight. What do you think you would have done? You would have tried to bring order to it as quickly as possible. That's what you would have done. Now, she threatening gun violence. If they come back on this property, they will be shot. Let's step back for a moment. Those words feel like a threat. It is a threat. But the question is, if you trespass on my property, if you were not formally invited by me to my property, and you walk on my property, me and you, we've got beef. I have a right to defend myself whichever way possible on my property. And in some instances, if it's my own friend's property and you've crossed the line on that property, yeah, sure. I shouldn't have a right on that to exact certain amount of violence on that property. But if my own friend, if I'm doing so in the protection of my own friend, or my friend has given me permission, I think the law would have an understanding regarding that. Now, were these guys formally invited to the party? The truth of the matter is they were not. They were not formally invited to the party. They got a text telling them, yo, there's a party over here, man. Drop by. It's how it's done many other times. I'm having a party. I only invite 20 people. I'm only inviting 20 people. But now these 20 people show up at my party, and my party is lit. It's serious, it's banging. It's going crazy, it's going nuts. What do some of those 20 people do? They go ahead and invite some other guests, saying, man, this party is lit. We got everything here, man. Drop by. This is what happened here. You have people who were not invited to the party. Somebody saw them and said, yo, you are not invited to this party. It doesn't mean because it's a high school end of party means that you should show up there. No. Is it one that was held by the school? If it was held by the school, then yeah, you can show up. You can do whatever you want to do. But this is, I think, is a private property, end of school party that this person, this friend is hosting. This friend of hers, son or daughter or whatever it is hosting in his own home. It's not for everybody to just, every Tom, Dick and Harry to just go over there and show up. So when people show up there and they're not invited and they tell you to leave, you leave. You know? You leave. So I'm thinking this is what escalated this whole situation. Now, she is trying to show her muscle by showing the friend that, yo, I'm a judge. I'm going to take care of this as quickly as possible for you. We are going to direct this to make sure that this thing is resolved as quickly as possible. Let's get it out of your front door. I think that's what's going on behind her mind. She's trying to get it out, but sometimes you exude power. It's no different from a nurse or a doctor. If something's happening in somebody else's home, this is your family, this is your friend's family, you're going to try to show them, yo, man, you've got an asset. I am yours. You understand me? You having me as a friend, as a doctor or a nurse or whatever it is, and I'm going to take care of this situation as quickly as possible and get this thing under control. You're going to see, you know, that you have me as an asset. I am an asset, not only as a friend. That is why this judge is so invested in this situation. And I will not be surprised if the friend that she's trying to help out here is probably somebody that she is actually sleeping with. I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised. I will not be. She threatens gun violence. She also tells the police that she's going to toss away their keys the moment she finds the keys. That I am heavily not in agreement with. You need to give them, you don't need to give them any reason to come back on that property. No reason at all. When you find the keys, give them the keys and let them get their property out of here and never show up again. That's the way it should be. You don't want anything that will always come back to that home, you know, or, you know, be referred to that incident. You want everything that is associated with that incident cut off, so it never comes back to that home. You want every ties that could lead to trauma cut off, out. And I think that response was very poor from her. She was speaking out of anger, and everybody tends to sometimes get angry. And you know, women, they're very emotional. The third part, encouraging violence, that she was happy that her son got to knock somebody who also hit him. You know, he knocked the other guy back. Tell me, if you as a father saw your own son defend himself against violence coming towards you, or violence coming towards him, wouldn't you be proud of your own son that your son was able to take a punch and then dish it back and then send it back? Wouldn't you be happy that your own son was able to deal with that situation, at least not get himself seriously messed up? You would. I'm not here to preach violence. I am not. But I will be glad, even as a father, that I would see my own son be able to handle himself in an aggressive situation. No parent wouldn't. You don't want your son, or you know, acting like as if he's a weak person. Man, it's really annoying. I'd rather see a strong son whom I know can handle himself avert violent situations because he understands how much damage he can do. But nothing beats many other times to see your own son be able to handle a violent situation. come out of it unscathed, but at the same time do what's necessary to make sure that he's protected. Like, I mean, I don't know who wouldn't. But she saying it right there in front of the police officers, it's something that men will talk to other men about and be like, yeah, that's my boy right there, you know. But in front of the police officers, you know, you're putting your son in harm's way, because at that point they might say, okay, we need to maybe hold your own son for questioning and all that whole stuff, and I don't want my own child getting involved in that nonsense. I want him as far as possible away from all that nonsense, you know. But seeing him do what is needed, man, I'll be proud. I'll definitely talk about him, you know, when it comes to the cigars and all that other stuff. Yeah, we'll talk about it. You know, him handling himself, man, makes you proud. You know, he didn't bring a punk into this world. But she talking about it in front of police officers, I felt like that was a no-no. And it will always be a no-no, especially when you're giving them a reason to go after your own son. And the last part is telling the officers that she's in support of them. Let me make this thing very, very clear to you guys, man. The reason why she's saying that is she's saying it as a means to an end. I don't know how many people have not been around women to know that women's words are as hollow as they come. A woman will use any word she can in order to get things to move along fast so that she can make you compliant to what she wants you to do. Manipulative behavior. And she will say whatever she wants to say. We as men, we don't do that. We rely on logic, we rely on being calm, and we rely on strategically making sure that things meet a certain things while at the same time we're protecting who we love. Women don't work that way. Once they get the high of the situation, once they get all emotionally invested, they use their words in many ways. You know, they always want to be right. You know, they always want you to be wrong all the time. Oh, you know, but if you didn't do this, this wouldn't have happened. You know, they use all this kind of like, I don't know, they kind of like tell you what you want to hear in order for you to, you know, to get on their wagon. That's always what they will always do in situations like that. It's always has been the situation. If you want police officers to move a little bit, just try putting one of those stickers where you have support the police at the back of your vehicle. You know, that they give to you whenever you send them money, right? You put it over there. You see that when the police officers come to your car, they're like, oh shit, this is one of our supporters. So we're not gonna just go around messing with him anyhow. That's why some of us, you know, at least we send some of those things there. Because when they see your vehicle, they're also quick to like, oh, I'm just gonna do this to your car, do that one to your car. You're like, let's just hold off here, man. This is one of our supporters. Let's not go around breaking this bank. You know, and they're a little bit more gentle with you. That's why many times, you know, they'd rather give me maybe a speeding warning than give me a ticket. You know? So, I'll just say that to you guys. It's like, once you show support for the police, many of the time they tend to expedite certain things for you. And I think this is what she was doing here. No more, no less than what it is. It is what it is. And it will always be how it is. I'm not saying that it's an appropriate thing, but many of the times you don't go around messing with people who actually support you. You know, you take it a little bit more gently. You know, you watch how you speak, but at the same time making sure that what you're trying to say gets along just fine. You know, So I'm thinking that's why she said what she said. I support you guys and blah blah blah. You know how it is. She just said that in passing so that they can get this thing done real quick. I've encountered this thing in a lot of other scenarios, especially among women. And as a man, I know to always ignore it. I don't expedite anything associated with them. In fact, when I hear those things, I just relax. I'm like, you're trying to hide something from me, or you're trying to make me not see all the facts, and that is when I stop. And I start looking around a little bit more closely. Because when women start using words to manipulate how you move, they are trying to hide something. But in this case, it's not about hiding something. It's about getting a resolution. She wanted done faster because of a friend. You can actually see it there. It's because of a friend. Trying to show them at the same time that, hey, listen, you've got me as a friend. I'm a judge and I'll take care of you. That is how it's done. People don't understand it, but but people who have the power always understand. Like, yo, I'm stopping this judge's son, and I am trying to get something from that judge too. If the son says, hey, I treated him with courtesy, the judge also will simply say, oh, you know what? That guy treated my son with courtesy, man. I'm not going to sit down here and start bashing him. In as much as it's wrong, but it's just human nature many of the times to be of an understanding mindset when it comes to certain things. Anyway, I've spoken enough on this issue. I think you guys have heard me rant enough. But all I'm simply saying is, in as much as everybody wants to sit down here and say she's racial in this situation, in my personal opinion, I think she's somebody trying to defend a friend, got pissed at those kids, and simply indicated that, yo, maybe they're not even so smart because they come in here, didn't make the right decisions to do what was right. They're not smart enough to know what, hey, you're not invited, just leave the premises. No, they did not. And let me be frank with you. Let's be honest with ourselves. Too many black people are very stubborn. Like, you tell them something, they don't listen. Even when you're being nice to them. I don't know why. The same thing also happens to some Caucasian people. And many of the times, I will not lie to you, it's usually people in the poverty section. In both sections. But I'm going to put it like this for you. The majority of people who act stubborn are people, number one, who have low IQ. I will not lie to you on this one. Stubborn people are usually people with low IQ. Number two, stubborn people are people who have nothing to lose. They've not achieved anything, so they have nothing to lose. If you encounter stubborn people, do not bother yourself trying to change their mind. They are stubborn that way because of those two things. Low IQ, and the other part is just simply, like I said earlier on, it is what it is. But you can't change that. It's just who the person is and who those people are. Anyway, I've spoken enough on the issue. But I'm going to leave you guys with one statement. Do I support this judge? No. I don't support her actions in any way. But I can understand exactly what happened here. It was a mistake. Do I think he needs to get her off the bench? No. What I think is we need more than one situation in order to get her off the bench. We need at least more than one. We all make mistakes. If there's anybody who hasn't made a mistake, hey, show me. But we've all made mistakes. I think somebody said it best. Oh, let me just finish this idea, this thought process. We all make mistakes. And with that means we have to have chances. Second and third chances, and then after that we're out. You're going to get cut off. We all make mistakes. As I'm going to say, we're all fallible. We're all human beings. Someone once said to me that in as much as people love heroes, there's nothing more the crowd loves than taking down their heroes. What this actually means for those people who don't, who are not able to follow, it means that people love to see someone champion a cause and come up for it, climb that pedestal of sainthood for them. Oh, this hero is without blemish. Here we go. We put you on this shining pedestal. But as equally as they put you on that pedestal, it's as quickly as they start trying to find fault to pull you down from it. The same people who put you up there are the same people who want to destroy you at the same time. And they'll always, always find a way. People forget everybody's human. We are all human. That's all I gotta say about this. Anyway, I think I said enough. But I'll be coming to you guys with other topics. Until then, you guys have a nice day. I think you guys have listened to me for more than 20 minutes.